Hello all. So today's agenda is to start some introductory talk about DeepSeek, which is in the news. So DeepSeek suddenly came into news since last 10-15 days. It is the most talked about aspect. For example, you can see this live mint news headline here. How DeepSeek's AI disruption sent $593 billion shockwave to Nvidia. So it has rattled global stock market. So it seems there is a 3.1% drop in Nasdaq. So it means DeepSeek is in the news, and DeepSeek has affected the stock market. DeepSeek has affected companies like Nvidia. So say for example, Microsoft, if you look at the stocks, they have gone down. Alphabet, Microsoft has supported OpenAI, right? So you have Alphabet gone down, Meta platforms gone down, Amazon gone down. So what is written in this news of Live Mint? I am going to read few of the keywords verbatim. It's DeepSeek AI. It is Chinese AI startup from Hangzhou. Okay. So it has affected the stock and global stock market in US as well as global stock market. It has affected the chip maker Nvidia's stock market. So it has made a record 17% one day loss for the Silicon Valley golden child. So it seems it has hit Nvidia the hardest. So S&P 500 dropped, Nasdaq slumped. So there are fears regarding the costly US endeavors in AI technology, because now you have Chinese alternative which is available on open source and which is made at a fraction of the cost. So what we can derive from this news is DeepSeek AI has come into the market and it has affected the market drastically. It has affected the stock market drastically. It has affected Nvidia or companies like Nvidia drastically. And what exactly is DeepSeek is, by looking at its competitor products, we can understand. You have ChatGPT and GPT-4 from OpenAI. So you have Gemini from Google. You have Claude from Anthropic. You have Meta, Llama. You have Mistral AI. So among these, at least we all are now frequent users of ChatGPT, OpenAI product, right? So we can say DeepSeek is a product which is in competition with all of this, and the majorly visible product is the chat gpt. So DeepSeek is a chat gpt like product, and we know a lot many things about chat gpt. It is large language model and so on and so forth, and it is given by OpenAI, right? So let us look at few of the buzzwords surrounding DeepSeek. Now we see these are the different versions of DeepSeek which are being discussed. We have DeepSeek version 3, then we have DeepSeek R1, then we have recently released DeepSeek Janus Pro. Now, as compared to the competitor, especially ChatGPT from OpenAI, the production cost is very less. Like for example, uh, they spent only $5.5 million for this DeepSeek product, and they could not get H100 GPUs of NVIDIA. So they manage with H800 of NVIDIA because there was a some export policy of US which is affecting China. So and this is a Chinese product. So what its claim is, with reduced resources, reduced infrastructure, comparably lower GPUs with a very low cost, they have done this. So you can the project cost for OpenAI, ChatGPT, which and especially this market is in billions, right? So they have produced this in $5.5 million. What are the other aspects of DeepSeek? So it uses 8-bit floating point number. It uses multi-token prediction. It uses large-scale reinforcement learning. Uh, it uses supervised fine-tuning. It uses chain of thoughts. Now, when DeepSeek is released by the Chinese research lab, so it released a paper, and that paper is this paper, DeepSeek R1, incentivizing reasoning capability in LLMs via reinforcement learning. So we'll just go through few of the keywords which I highlighted of this paper to just connect with DeepSeek initially in this first video. And the DeepSeek R1 and its benchmark performance was compared with all the other competitors, and it was compared on these benchmarks. AIME, that is American Invitational Mathematics Examination Competition. Code Forces, which is a competitive programming context. GPQA Diamond, which is a graduate level Google Proof Q&A benchmark dataset. Math 500 benchmark dataset. Massive multitask language understanding, that is MMLU benchmark. Then SWE benchmark, which checks AI models' capability to solve real world software engineering tasks. Real world software engineering tasks. So let us go through that paper, not in its entirety, but few of the things I highlighted just as an introductory part. So now we know through this introductory part of this PDF. So DeepSeek is making news, or it is kind of a breaking news. And DeepSeek is open source, so everything is open source. Whatever it's doing, how it's doing, the working, everything is can be known, can be understood, right? So, and this is the research paper related to that, released by the DeepSeek Research Lab. You can see here the contribution also. If you look at the contributors, that is research lab deepseek.com. Now, the name of the paper, as I mentioned, it is DeepSeek R1, incentivizing reasoning capability in LLMs via reinforcement learning. So, we'll not go through the entire paper, we'll go through the partial paper, but that too only the highlighted parts, just to get connected with this new thing which has come in the market called as DeepSeek. Okay. Now, if you look at the abstract, they're saying they have released DeepSeek R10 as well as they have released DeepSeek R1. Okay. They are saying they have used reinforcement learning, that two large scale reinforcement learning, and they have not used supervised fine tuning. As not. Now, with this, what they have seen is performance enhancement in reasoning capabilities. Okay. So, you have something called as multi-stage training of DeepSeek R1, and the performance is comparable with OpenAI 011217 on reasoning task. So as well as they have open sourced DeepSeek R10, DeepSeek R1, and there are 6 dense models: 1.5B, 7B, 8B, 14B, 32B, 70B, which are distilled from DeepSeek R1 based on Quen and Llama, right? Now we are speaking about the benchmark performance, right? And we said these were the benchmarks which were compared. One was AIME, the other one was Code Forces, GPQA Diamond, Math 500 benchmark, MMLU, SWE benchmark, and this diagram highlights that only. If you look at, so this is the benchmark performance of DeepSeek R1 against what? Against OpenAI O1 1217, against DeepSeek R132B, against OpenAI O1 Mini, DeepSeek V3. So, and you can see here DeepSeek R1, this blue shaded line, the performance is visible. In AIME, it is highest DeepSeek R1. In Code Forces, it is competitive enough with OpenAI. In GPQA Diamond, you have OpenAI going up. In Math 500 again, the performance is the best. In MMLU again, competitive performance. In SWE again, the performance is competitive. Let us look directly at the performance aspect also. You can see here the performance of R10 has gone from 15.6% to 71%, and with majority voting it has gone up to 86.7% in AIME 2024 benchmark as compared to OpenAI O1 0912. So let us look at the performance. Yeah, okay. So you can see here R1 has got a score of 79.8 in AIME 2024, okay, which has surpassed OpenAI O1 1217. In Math 500, it got 97.3, which is on par with OpenAI O1 1217. On coding related task, it achieved 2029 ELO rating on Code Forces, outperforming 96.3 human participants. For engineering related tasks, it has gone better than V3. Now, as far as knowledge is concerned, on benchmarks such as MMLU, MMLU Pro, GPQA Diamond, DeepSeek R1 achieved fantastic results. It has outperformed DeepSeek V3 with a score of 90.8 on MMLU, 84.0 on MMLU Pro, 71.5 on GPQA Diamond. So that's what. So you have DeepSeek R1, and we had mentioned the 3 versions also. You have V3, then you have R1, then you have recently released Janus Pro. And let us go further here. So here in the introduction part, they are speaking about large language models, other competitors like OpenAI, Google, and they are saying post-training has gained importance because it has enhanced accuracy on reasoning tasks, it aligns with social values, adapts to user preferences, okay, all this while requiring minimal computational resources against pre-training. So post-training is what they are suggesting. Now, they have used purely reinforcement learning, and through this they have improved the reasoning capabilities. Okay, so they have not used any supervised data, and they are focused on reinforcement learning, self evolution through pure reinforcement learning process. Okay, and then they're speaking about the performance enhancement. They are speaking about distillation. So here from DeepSeek R1 distillation, they are distilled to smaller dense models, and they have used Quen 2.5 to 32B, Quen 2024B as the base model, and they did the direct distillation from DeepSeek R1. It outperforms applying RL on it. They have open sourced the distilled Quen and Llama. Their distilled 14B model outperform QWQ 32B preview of Quen. Okay, And distilled 32B and 70B model, they have set a new record on the reasoning benchmarks among dense models. What are the contributions they are saying this? Who are the people? They are the lab. Which lab? AI research lab. Which China research? That they are DeepSeek research lab from China. Okay. And if we go back to their contributions, they are saying one contribution, a significant contribution is post training. And there they are using large scale reinforcement learning on the base model. So what they are claiming is they have applied directly reinforcement learning without relying on supervised fine tuning as a preliminary step. Okay, that made them, allowed them to explore chain of thoughts for solving complex problem, and that resulted in the development of DeepSeek R10. Okay, they have introduced a pipeline to develop DeepSeek R1. The second contribution they are mentioning is distillation. Okay, what they did is the reasoning patterns of larger models they're claiming can be distilled into smaller models, resulting in better performance. The DeepSeek R1 and its API will benefit further also if they distill further. So what they did is they whatever reasoning data was generated by DeepSeek R1, they fine-tuned it to several dense models, and the results demonstrated they are exceptionally performing well on the benchmark. Is it not? For example, this DeepSeek R1 Distill Quant 7B achieves 55.5% on AIME, which has surpassed this QWQ32B preview. Okay, so other results are also comparable. These are the results which we have already mentioned. Now, other tasks like creative writing, general question answering, editing, summarization, all these also they have the results are impressive. For example, here they are mentioning the win rate of 87.6 on this benchmark Alpaca Eval 2.2 and a win rate of 92.3% on Arena Hard on this benchmark. So this is a small introductory discussion of DeepSeek because it is making waves, making news, breaking news everywhere and anywhere. So be it an economist, be it a politician, be it an educationist, be it a learner like us, it is going to affect all of us. So my learning will start from this paper. So in the next video, what I will be doing is I'll be exploring the mathematics and the concepts of whatever they mentioned as a contribution in this paper. So that's it for now regarding deep learning as an introductory topic.